You know, I know right now, actually, you might not know this, but right now I am currently in a federal lawsuit against the county judge. That's right, the judge of Dallas County, one of the biggest counties in Texas, actually in the United States, arguably. And I'm suing them in federal court for a First Amendment lawsuit. And today, I actually got on the stand. So we're going to get into all that. But before we do, actually, I want to just say this. Today in court, they played a recent live stream that I did where I talked about a multitude of things involving the court case that I'm currently involved in. And everything that I said, they played the video in court, I was being authentic about. So I would just like to say to the jurors, potentially, I hope you're not watching this because I don't think that that's legal. I just want to say that I respect everybody in that courtroom very much. And everybody in that courtroom has been the utmost professional and respectful to the court. And I just want to say that I respect everybody, even the opposing counsel that has, gotten mad at me and yelled at me during this court case. I even respect everybody. So thank you for watching this. Tonight, we want to focus, because this is such a monumental court case and it will create future legislative decisions when this problem arises in the future. They will go back and they will look at this court case to figure out how to adjudicate it in the future. So that's why this is so important. And I'm not doing this, and I'm not trying to virtue signal when I say this, I'm not doing this for me. We've actually agreed to nominal damages that even if I win, I can only get so much, a very small amount. Because it's not about winning. What this is about, it's about defending the First Amendment. It is the most important amendment. Now, some people say the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms. And I can, maybe that can be a debate, but I'm just saying the ability to go and criticize our politicians is one of the most important amendments in the entire Constitution. And when you have elected officials, these are the people we elected to work for us, and you go and try to speak critical of them and they shut you down, that is a politician that is working against their constituents. And that's what I'm trying to expose with this lawsuit, is that we have politicians that, because they might not like what you're about to say about them in a public forum, they will just shut you down. So this has monumental consequences for the future. And I hate to, be like this, and I really do appreciate the Judge Jenkins and Commissioner Wiley Price, but it did kind of tickle me to death that they could have just settled and they didn't have to go to court. And John Wiley Price, kind of got humiliated on the stand. If I'm just, being honest, he said, he just had different definitions for the same word. It was very convoluted, what he was saying. But my point is, if they just would have settled like other places, Plano and New York has done, we wouldn't have had a 2-day trial talking about how Clay Jenkins trespassed in a girl's dorm and stole their underwear. And the reason why this is a big deal to me is that their attorneys, often call it a panty raid. My attorneys has described it as a panty raid. And I get that the 80s were a different time than the 2020s. But if you really think about it, if you were going to break into somebody's house or let's just change it. Let's just say, what would you rather happen? Would you rather somebody broke into your house and steal your TV? Or would you rather somebody broke into your house and stole your underwear? What would you feel more violated? And it's obvious, you would feel more violated that they stole your underwear, because that would mean that they have some sort of power or some sort of fetish. That is only about feelings. If somebody stole your TV, you're like, oh, there's an excuse. This person's poor, they needed money, they're trying to buy drugs. But when you go and you break into somebody's house to steal nothing of monetary value, only of perverted value, like a woman's used, soiled underwear, which there are people in Asia and in America that pay a lot of money for this underwear. So there is actually I hate to admit this, but there is a used underwear economy. But maybe Clay Jenkins, maybe I was wrong, Jimmy. Maybe Clay Jenkins was stealing these panties not to sniff them and crank it. Maybe he was stealing them because he was going to hold on to them in 30 years when the internet was invented, and then he could sell them to Asian men. Was that what he's trying to do, Jimmy?
I mean, it's definitely possible.
Jimmy, let's go through some of your timeline of what happened to you.
So I don't think we have this video, but the first video they played was after Arturo Martinez said to aim better after the assassination of...
Oh, we're talking about the videos, yeah, because they started...
Oh, you want to go through...
No, we don't have to. No, actually, their defense is even better place to start. But I just thought it was funny when they played... And remember, Jimmy, did you notice, and Emmanuel and Paige, I know you guys have heard me say this 100 times, every other video that they played of me happened after the commissioner's court meeting.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's just funny. They're painting a picture of me after. And what I tried to explain to the jury, yes, the videos that you're seeing, I am acting crazy. But I wouldn't have to act crazy like this because I went to these meetings and I spoke seriously. And I had serious public articles that I handed to them. And I tried to do it above board. And you know what? I got shut down. So I had to adopt a unique style in order to get my point across. And so they're showing this kind of, different version of, the maturation of what I became when it came to going to these meetings. It started off serious. So I don't know, do you think that the jury got that message? Because I was trying to convey that.
I think it was completely clear. And you're actually, you talk for a living, you're a much better communicator than even their lawyer.
Yeah. The lawyer yelled at me. Did you think that?
I was going to get to that.
Okay, you go start going through a little bit.
So brought up the video where you were very stern with Eric Johnson about the police force, mocking President Trump's assassination. And you ended that by saying, calling Mayor Eric Johnson a bitch ass. So their lawyer said, you called Mayor Eric Johnson a bitch ass. Then you smiled. And lawyer said, you're smiling. Do you think this is funny? Alex, yes, I think it's very funny calling an elected politician a bitch ass if they're being a bitch ass. I won't say that if they're not being a bitch ass.
And then he's asked me what the definition of a biatch was, right?
Yeah.
Okay, keep going. I like it. It's funny. This is like me seeing it at the time. Nobody was laughing when I said the biatch comment. Maybe a couple, like chuckles, but nobody's really laughing because it's very intense. But now you reading it, it's 10 times funnier. It's so funny.
I literally multiple times had to just go, because I didn't want to laugh out loud and just make you look bad, but it was so funny. Then I thought it was funny when they were trying to play the video and they spent almost 10 minutes because a secret video was playing on a hidden tab and there was double audio.
2 videos were playing. So this is how smart they were. And they were so smart. They were very, very, very smart people. But so they were using their laptop to play a video. So they had multiple browsers open. In one browser, one video is playing. In the other browser, they're trying to play that video. So they're trying to play a video of me and you're hearing audio of another video. So they're just like, oh, I don't know how to work a computer. Where's your computer? Is this a computer? Is this on the internet? So yes, but they did a great job. It only took them 10 minutes to get it worked out.
Okay, and then next, and if you want to get SOT 6 ready, if we want to play a snippet of it, they said, so, Mr. Stein, you went to Las Vegas and told the sad tale of your wife's boyfriend had impregnated her and that you took a Filipino woman back to your hotel to find out she was transgender. Was this true, Mr. Stein?
And what did I say, though? I said, no, it's not. I made that story up to make a point.
I think this was the peak of the day in terms of the craziest, where they just started with no context. The lawyer says, Alex, does ball gag sound familiar?
What did I say? I forget it because
I don't remember because I was trying not to laugh because he was asked that question seriously in a federal courtroom. And so I think they played the full video, but this is where it got crazy. He asked you a yes or no question, and you said, well, it's funny you played that video because we actually sued the city of Plano and settled, and then the lawyer goes, stop talking!
Yeah, that's what he yelled.
Well, I want to talk about what happened after the guy snapped on you.
Okay, yes.
Because, so immediately the courtroom went silent because this guy yelled at him, the Mr. Respectable, or we really loved everyone. We do respect him. Alex then turns to the judge. Is he allowed to yell at me? Then Alex's lawyer stands up. Objection. This lawyer is harassing my client. Then Alex says, I'm being serious. This is triggering my anxiety. I had a heart attack last year. Can we take a break? Then the judge says, we will take a 5-minute recess. All rise for the jury.
Well, I was having, my heart was, because it was so shocking. I was like, wait, why is this guy? Because you know why? This is how sick I am. And this is another thing at these meetings, as I keep talking about me, but if you were a county commissioner or somebody watching this, the best way to defeat me, and I can't believe I'm giving you the cheat code on how to defeat me, not like I'm some super villain, maybe I am. To you I am probably, but just let me speak and don't engage. Like the more you engage, so it raises my, like the more you're combative to me, it raises my level. If I go and I talk to a politician or I confront a politician, if they just don't say anything, then the video's not that great. But when I say big booty Latina and you give me a peace sign and you engage with me, it becomes a huge thing. And that's why we love you, AOC. No offense, this is my number one babe. But I'm just saying Sarah Gonzalez is our number 2 woman in our lives. And AOC is number 3. My point is, it's not about the women in my life that have helped me so much. Sarah, Paige, AOC, doesn't matter, not in a particular order. What does matter is that these people need to realize, don't engage with me. So Jimmy, that's why I was so mad. He's yelling at me. I wanted to start yelling, so I had to go extra calm.
That's why I genuinely commended you, because I know your instinct with everything you had was to yell back, and you restrained. And we got to
even
take a
the
break.
jury was very taken aback by that, because he literally snapped for no reason. He should just kept doing the object, like what he was doing. But the fact that he snapped like that, the jury, they're even like, oh boy.
So the next line of questioning is so ridiculous.
This is the thing. Right after they played that meeting, do you remember this? The judge, I think he did this on double cross after he let me go, then he came back. And correct me if I'm wrong, he goes, Alex, do you believe in the First Amendment so much that you think you can go to a city council meeting and say gonorrhea?
Yeah.
And
anaconda.
And he goes, do you think it's okay to go to a city council meeting and say anaconda? Gonorrhea?
Do you want me to read the
Okay,
exact
you
quote?
read it, you read it.
Mr. Stein, it is your position that according to the First Amendment, you can say throat gonorrhea, glory holes, my big package, my anaconda. Is that correct? And then you said, well, anaconda's an animal and gonorrhea, that's just a medical term. So yes, it is.
That's exactly what I said. And it is. I mean, you can say a medical term in there and you can say package. I mean, it can have a double entendre. It can have a double meaning. But listen, I'm going there. What am I supposed to do? I'm not cussing. These guys, this is the problem, is they do want to limit free speech. That attorney wants you to not be able to go there and say the word gonorrhea. But imagine this. Imagine that, let's go back in time. Hold my hand, hold my hand, hold my hand. Emmanuel, everybody hold their hand. Ready? Okay, we're in the Tuskegee syphilis experiment, and we're all ex-sharecroppers, and they just infected us with syphilis. Should we be able to go to the governor's mansion, Jimmy, and tell them, we got syphilis? Or should we not be able to say that because that's a medical term that has a sexual connotation?
Absolutely.
Exactly. That's why in our fantasy land, of course we could say that, because the Tuskegee syphilis experiment, they gave black men Tuskegee syphilis. Think about that, guys. That's what our government does. So they believe, oh, well, you can't go to a meeting and mention a medical term. Well, how about the government doesn't give poor black people syphilis, and then we don't have to go to these public meetings and expose them and use medical terms that might have a sexual connotation. So this is why I'm so upset, because they're trying to make this some, issue that I'm being inappropriate. And you know what? I'm not going to sit here and say that in other meetings of course, in other meetings, I have acted inappropriate. But in the meeting that we are currently on trial for, that the county is being sued for, that was literally one of my most well-behaved meetings that I've ever participated in. So it's crazy, Jimmy, that we're watching the juxtaposition that the defense is putting on by showing me act crazy. And then they asked me, Jimmy, do you have the notes on that when they asked me?
Well, so there are 2 lines of questioning that were absolutely hilarious. So after the 5-minute recess, after the freak out, first question was, did you call the mayor a baby back biatch? And you said yes. Lawyer, what is a baby back biatch? You said it is just a biatch. Lawyer, what is a biatch? Alex, a female dog. Lawyer, a bitch? Alex, no.
You said it's slang.
I said it's slang for the word. I said that. I mean, yeah, I think that's what he said. He goes, biatch. And I go, what does biatch mean? I was like, a female dog. And he's like, bitch. I go, no, it's slang for that. And yeah, I thought that, I don't know. I didn't think that, but I had to be honest. I see what he was trying to do. He is trying to paint me crazy. And do you think that, I guess the jury's going to know that I'm crazy, but was it good that I doubled down and admitted that I was crazy in your opinion?
I wrote that down too.
Okay,
It was actually,
I think so too. It's the only way I could go. I wasn't gonna act like I'm not crazy, because trust me, guys, I'm primetime 99. What did I say, Emmanuel, again?
So
You're insane in the membrane?
Well, no. No, they were trying, this is a little ahead, but I said, they brought up your Lakeside Vibes 11, and you said,
oh, wait, time out, because it's so crazy. Guys, and I kind of, Paige looks at me like I'm an idiot, because I go, I can't believe they're watching. And then you look at me, you're like, oh, you had to know that they're going to be watching your videos, but I just didn't expect.
Yeah.
They had, and I have to get onto my attorneys. My own attorneys didn't even try to object, and I don't even think they got that video approved. Like, we didn't have any prior knowledge that they were going to play that video. And anytime we tried to put in something that they didn't have prior knowledge of, they objected immediately. And my attorneys were like, no, just play whatever video. Oh, no. I was like, guys, maybe we should have objected to a couple of these videos I was saying. And my attorneys were like, no, let them see that you're crazy. Let them see that you're crazy, because in this video, you didn't act crazy. And I was like, I hope this works. I hope this works.
So they were said in the Lakeside Vibes 11 live stream, you said you don't want the jury to think you're wild and insane. And then Alex, you said you looked at the juries. No, I am wild and insane. I'm Primetime 99, pimp on a blimp, but I'm not held to a higher standard like these public officials. And I'll admit some of the jurors did smile when you said that.
Well, let's not talk about them. No, they didn't. The juries were great. I just want to say the jurors are so great.
They were very.
And I want to just say this also. Thank you so much. I know that sitting in that courtroom now, going on the third day tomorrow, and I just want to apologize. And like, I know I keep saying this, and I'm not trying to virtue signal when I say this. Like, I'm not just doing this for me. I'm doing this also for guys like Emmanuel that have been kind of hung up in the system. Like, that these politicians need to realize that, hey, listen, I know we're the small guy, but we're not afraid to fight back. And I'm not saying that this is a fist fight, but it's just that we're not just going to roll over to these politicians when we feel like they're being corrupt to us. So I just want to just commend every single person that has spent the past 2 days with us, and tomorrow's going to be our third day. And I really do mean that. And even if you don't like my political viewpoints, and that's understandable. Even people that I align with politically don't agree with my viewpoints because I have such weird viewpoints. Not even extreme. I'm actually, if you're watching this, I just want to say that my viewpoints are actually more moderate. I believe that we should have socialized healthcare, which is not a conservative position, but it's not about my politics. What it is about saying thank you to the people that sat through this entire trial, took notes, paid attention, and that's every single juror on there. They did a great job. So I hope they're not watching this, because I think that would be a violation. So please don't watch this. But if you're watching this after the court case, I just want to say thank you so much. And I get it. Like, you might not like me personally, but I think that we can all agree that it is important to have the ability to speak with our politicians in a way that is not limited like they want to limit it. And I just want to really applaud the people that spent time. And I want to say thank you to Paige. I want to say thank you to Jimmy. I want to say thank you to Emmanuel. I want to say thank you to Tim Denton, came in today. I want to say thank you to the Dallas Morning News reporter that ended up getting John Wiley Price's police report where he got arrested in...
Clay Jenkins.
Excuse me, not John Wiley Price. Let me correct for the record. John Wiley Price, even though he has been arrested for stuff in the past, this is not about his arrest. This is about Clay Jenkins' arrest. And the Dallas Morning News did get a copy of the police report that stated, at the time he went by Alvin Clay Jenkins. Jenkins, I believe, was his stepfather, that he actually had on dark oil type or paint or dark makeup on their faces to make them look like black people. Yeah, that's what it says in the police report. And yeah, you guys can look that police report up. There's a case number in the top right in the Waco Police Department. That is where Baylor University is. So that's not AI. That is real. So shout out to Current Revolt. Thank you to Tony and Current Revolt for that information. I definitely want to give them a shout out. So
Alex, can I read probably my favorite line of questions?
Please, of course.
So this is, actually, I'm not even going to comment my opinion. This is what the lawyer asked Alex. What is a glory hole, Mr. Stein? And then you kind of were starting to talk. And then he said, Mr. Stein, is a glory hole a place where men can go have anonymous oral sex? And then you said, well, women too.
It didn't seem funny right then, guys, but it was at the time, because the judge is like, the attorney's like, isn't this a gay sexual thing? And I was like, well, no, women can go there too. And I think that created enough
Then
levity.
the lawyer said, thank you for that addition. And then you immediately said, you're welcome. My grind so refined, I got no time for no games. Ask yourself